Then Gomez leads though at the moment with the 200, but with 150, Zach Drummond, can he maintain that one? It's qualifying heat A versus C. Let's take you through the full starting lineup. Zach Drummond and Anatoly Kavalkin go from row number 1, Jindřich Peschel and Lewis Werrell on row 2. David Walter and Elliot Kaczynski, they round out row number 3 with Finn McLaughlin and Alexander Bondarev, the first of the new tyres, on row 4. Maximilian Rafalek and Lewis Francis, also with a fresh set of boots on the right-hand side, go from row 5. Guillaume Bazar and Sebastiano Pavan on row 6.
It's a much stiffer, it's not a breeze anymore, it's properly challenging out there for some drivers. So that moment that we saw earlier in the races, here we go for the next 11 laps. Green lights, Drummond takes it from pole position into turn 1. Peschel looking for the room down the inside as well. Kavalkin holding in round the outside. That's a great effort from Kavalkin. He's held P2. We don't often see that here at Valencia. Good starts for both drivers on the front row.
A little bit shaky in the background there, dust getting kicked up. I think 1 or 2 drivers having to take to the escape road there, but everyone getting round the first few corners relatively unscathed. Yeah, you bang up right there. Drummond with the start from the inside low, predictable for that one, but Kavalkin, yeah, brilliant start for him on that outside row. Down the inside there, not sure who that is. I think Peschel was still there in 3rd place. That is Finn McLaughlin. Again, a brilliant start for him from 7th.
Yeah, but Finn McLaughlin has really got himself in tune with the circuit here in Valencia. Move down the inside as well. Oh, that was a mighty close moment going through turn number 15 into the tram lines once again to the end of lap number 1. Drummond from Kavalkin, McLaughlin, Werrell, Peschel. It's not a great first lap for Peschel there. Normally you see a driver from P3 on the grid move forward. In the end, the Czech driver's down in 5th.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, Drummond's still holding on to the lead of this one, but remember, Lewis Werrell coming through the field as well has had a good start as well. You can see him there in P4. Just going through back in his original starting spot. Just starting to hunt down these 3 at the front. Where is Alexander Bondarev? He is the driver. Well, he's not had a good start this one. He's dropped down to 10th on my screen here. I think he's back up to 9th now, so he's only down 1 position. He's a little further down in the field here with that brand new set on board. Still a handful of drivers who have gone for those new tyres, so we'll keep an eye on all of them as they make their way through. Back on the start-finish straight, still Drummond, Kavalkin, McLaughlin, Werrell, Peschel, Volta, Pavan up to 7th from Kaczynski, Bondarev and Guillaume Bazar, your top 10.
Qualifying heats points situation. Drummond back to the top of the order. Kavalkin, with this result, would be sat in 4th place on 173. McLaughlin would be 6th on 167. So it's a strong field out here at the moment. Who else is on the move? Sebastiano Pavan's gaining again. He's up to 7th place. Just got past Kaczynski. Bondarev, as he mentioned, past Boozer for 9th. Kai Rilletz really needs a good result in this one for Sodi Karts. Retired from the previous race. He's up to 11th place.
Certainly so. Again, adjustments to the radiators there. Quite a lot of cover there for Kavalkin, not so much for McLaughlin. So Kavalkin keeping the heat in the engine, whereas McLaughlin trying to cool it down as much as he possibly can at this stage. I can imagine there with the dirty air, he's not getting much air in there, which would make sense, being stuck behind everyone, despite the fact that he's got the headwind down that main straight. But McLaughlin still closing in here, and now piling on the pressure to Kavalkin, sends it, but Kavalkin's got the inside line. Here comes Werrell once more. McLaughlin under pressure. It was a good attempt, but he's going to have to give it another go, and he tries it again, and Werrell follows as well. That secures that one a little bit, but he runs deep, he runs wide. Now comes David Walter. David Walter down the inside. He gets past Kavalkin. Kavalkin's dropped several places. The biggest winner for that one is Lewis Werrell, who's up into P2 now and on the charge towards Zach Drummond.
I was going to say, Lewis Werrell is probably thanking Finn McLaughlin right now for that big move down the inside. I think McLaughlin was half in attack, half in defence at the same time as he overshot the breaking point there. But Werrell up into 2nd place, 3rd place for David Walter, and now we see, well, none of the problems that we saw yesterday for David Walter in the 265. We've seen that David can finish these races strong as defending now. Here comes Peschel down the inside of Kavalkin. Kavalkin loses out, I think, is that Bondarev coming through? Yes, it is. You can see the Williams Formula 1 team logos on the side of his Prema Racing kart. That's a good bit of progress by Bondarev, and he's going to go for more progress down the inside of Peschel. That's another position gained for Bondarev, up to P5.
Cool, calm, collected again, wheel to wheel. Peschel under pressure again from Kavalkin. Kavalkin just trying to hold on to that position. I think he's, he did hold on to it. Now Sebastiano Pavan has closed in as well. We've seen Pavan make good moves all the way throughout this weekend. Now he's latched onto the back of this one. I'm sure he will make some more here. Back across the line they go. Still Drummond who leads by 0.8 of a second. We'll keep an eye on that gap. We'll keep an eye on the second times as well because they're looking relatively similar. I think Drummond is securing that start at the moment as Bondarev now sets the fastest lap of the race. Those tyres are coming in now. These first couple of laps, it took a while to get the temperature into them, but now they've got them and now they're working. Now he can start to push through. Pavan past Peschel and he's up into P7.
Drummond leads by 0.8 of a second as out of the race is Stefano Padani. Calicart out of the race there. It's been a tough weekend for Padani so far, and it gets no better there. Retirement and 28th place. End of lap number 6 then. Drummond still leads, but the gap is coming down. Lewis Worrell took about 1/10 and a half out of Zach Drummond's lead there. It's down to 0.7. David Walter not too far behind as well for Tony Karts. Finn McLaughlin 4th, Bondarev 5th, Kavalkin, Pavan, Peschel, Kaczynski and Leon Brunner. Leon Brunner's having a good race here. He's up to P10 as a little closer look there at the kart of Stefano Padani out of this race. Yeah, Brunner, 6 places gained so far. One of the biggest movers, if not the biggest mover in the race so far.
So, eyes on this battle here. Lewis Worrell and David Walter. This is the battle for second place on your screen. Both drivers have gained position on this one. Both of them up 2 places. McLaughlin and Bondarev both gaining 3 places. They are once again starting to close in. The gap has come down a little bit between Worrell and Drummond, but not by much. I'm talking tenths here across the line. Or, sorry, hundredths of a second, not tenths across the line. It's down to 0.6 of a second now. There's a look at the intermediate classifications. Drummond, with this position, would still match Gabriel Gomez 200 points apiece. Both of them still on an unbroken streak, but there's still a long way to go in this race. Now, am I seeing something flapping around on the back of Kaczynski's kart there? I am. Now, that is the overflow to his radiator that is starting to blow around in the wind on Kaczynski's kart.
That's not a good situation at all.
It's a distraction with it banging around.
For everybody else out there. And we'll keep monitoring that situation. Down the inside there, lovely move by the 257 of Francis. So Lewis Francis gaining another position out there for KR Motorsport. Out to complete lap number 8 then are the leaders. Drummond leads still by 0.6 of a second, but that gap is coming down between himself and Lewis Worrell. Here down the inside goes the 254 for a move. That's Guy Albag. We have not seen too much of Guy Albag so far today, but that was a nice move. Gets him past the 237 of Brunner and into the top 10.
Another runner on those brand new set of tyres. Guy Albagino pushing hard here, and he's trying to gain as many positions as he can, running on the Kart Republic chassis here at Valencia, looking mighty in his nice clean new race suit for 2024. But Drummond leading the way. Replay here of Stefano Padani. What is he unhappy with? Oh, front tyre. It looks like that's a failure there. It's popped on track, and that's why he's pulled it in. Well, couldn't see completely of that one. Maybe it's just a puncture he's picked up from the track. Couldn't see any tread there or anything, like completely delaminated or anything.
So there either. I think that is
it's just a puncture.
Yeah.
Not what he will have wanted there at all. Well, Zach Drummond continues to lead the way, but the gap is coming down. Lewis Worrell, it's closing. Half a second now is that gap as Worrell continues to pile on that pressure. Drummond's now just thinking, this is probably my last race on these tyres now. I think my next race, I'm going for a brand new set.
He's done a brilliant job to get those tyres through this far. And I was talking to people at the start of the week, people saying, no way are you going to be able to take a set of tyres this far, or like talking about the superheat, and no one's going to have new tyres for the superheat. Well, Zach Drummond's not going to be too far off. That I agree with you. I would probably put some new set on for for that next race, particularly as it'll be against Gomez. There'll be championship points on the line in that one.
Exactly, and you have to remember Gomez on his last one with his set of tyres, he also had the smallest gap he's ever had in a race. So I think we've reached the limit for, I think, our drivers who've been running at the front of this one. But everyone's just going to try and keep them going as we're on the final lap here. Elliot Kaczynski a little further down the order, still trying to get through this field. I think he's actually tumbled down the order. Yeah, he has 19th place. But this man here, David Walter on your screen, the 265, in second place, has really latched onto the rear bumper of Lewis Werrell here now. So Werrell, despite his best efforts trying to close in, is now on the defensive on this last lap. And I can imagine David Walter's going to go for a full send here if he can into the final corner. Werrell strategically plants that kart in the middle of the road, but Drummond takes another win and he secures maximum points again, matching Gabriel Gomez. The next time we see those two, they'll be racing each other, and I suspect on brand new tyres as well on one side or the other. That's going to be the curious one. Zach Drummond then for Parallel Motorsport takes the win. Unbeaten at this moment in time, and so far a perfect. And Stefano Pedani, unfortunately the only retirement in that race. Let's take you through some of the highlights in that one. Again, good getaway for Drummond, but it was a good getaway for Anatoly Kavalkin. He managed to hold on to P2. Watch him all the way around the outside there, right at the front. Just gets ahead of Jindřich Peschel, who tried to get into second place but was denied it. Werrell there in fourth place with a good start, and then again McLaughlin with a good start. The driver who started this one P7 up to P5, then up into P4 very, very quickly. So up into P3 very, very quickly. Kaczynski, you can just see him there in the background, who was up a very high position, battling away, but unfortunately would then just tumble down the order later on. This brave, brave move down the inside for Werrell, who would then fully commit to it into the final chicane. Absolutely nowhere he could get that one wrong. McLaughlin down the inside. This was his first move to try and get up into second place. This one wouldn't work. Werrell would be behind. This was the second attempt. Again, outbraking himself, working those tyres that just weren't finding the traction he needed. And Werrell managed to get through. So completely outbraked himself there, did McLaughlin. And Walter would get through as well. Peschel then became under pressure. Kavalkin tumbling down. Bondarev would come through on that fresher set of tyres. Took a couple of laps to get up to temperature, but they certainly did, and they certainly proved vital for him to gain those positions. He most definitely needed. Pavan just squeezing down the inside of Jindřich Peschel to secure that spot. The retirement for Pedani here. And another look at that tyre again. Just looks like that was possibly just a puncture. So a big shame there for Pedani, but for Zach Drummond, winning by 9/10 of a second, securing another 50 points and matching Gabriel Gomez. The two of them